Hello and welcome back to Oscar Recap. Today we will recap.
The 10-year-old boy suddenly realized that he still retains memories of his previous life. He finds his wife from his previous life and says to her,
You're my wife.
You're telling me that we got married at some point in time?
Yes,
You're a handsome little boy, but I'm getting married to someone else.
it's me. Sean.
You're telling me that you're Sean?
Yes.
Anna was a little angry when she heard that. She felt that the boy was teasing her because her husband Sean had died suddenly in a morning jog 10 years ago. It took her 10 years to get over it and start a new relationship, but then the boy reveals all the details of their relationship and marriage. Anna is in deep pain again. She angrily asks the security guard to send the boy away, but things don't simply end there. By the next day, Anna received a letter from the boy addressed to her. The letter says not to marry Jack. Anna is even more puzzled. After thinking it over, she tells the story in the letter. She tells her family the story and the contents of the letter, and is treated like a straight-up joke. Fiancé Jack decides to take revenge on Anna. He decided to take revenge on the boy. So the next day he went to the boy's parents and told them about the incident, and found out that the boy's name was also Sean. But the strange thing was, the boy was fine, but just a few days earlier, he suddenly changed his personality. He claimed he was not their son. The couple even wondered if their son had been possessed. After learning of Jack and Anna's intentions, the boy's parents sincerely apologized to both of them. They promised that their son would never bother them again. But the boy looks at Anna with affection. He refused to admit his mistake. Anna had no choice but to say,
I don't want you to bother me.
with that, Anna and her fiancé turned and left. The little boy looked at their backs. The boy looked at their backs. He suddenly collapsed to the ground. At the music concert, Anna's heart could no longer be at peace. The melancholy look in the boy's eyes before he collapsed kept coming back to her. They were like Sean's. As she thought about it, tears welled up in her eyes. On the other side, the boy's parents were also puzzled. Could their son really be Anna's late husband's reincarnation? The boy is devastated, but he did not give up trying to prove himself. That day, the boy found the courage to call Anna and leave a message. He asked her to meet him in the park where only they know. The words hit Anna like a hammer blow. It hit Anna's troubled heart. When Anna arrives, she finds the boy was standing under a hole in the bridge. This was the same place where her husband Sean had died suddenly. She asks the boy,
You think this is a game? You think this is funny?
No.
Who told me there wasn't a Santa Claus?
I'll know them when I see them.
You're just a little boy.
By now Anna was still saying she didn't believe it, but the scales were beginning to tip in her favor. In order to find out more about the truth, Anna gets her brother-in-law to question the boy for her. Do you believe that there is an afterlife after death? This little boy discovered by accident, himself remembering things from his past life. Not only can he tell all kinds of personal information about Sean accurately, he also reveals some intimate stories just about him and Anna.
We did it on your sofa.
Okay.
Green sofa.
Not only that, the boy knows Anna's flat and family like the back of his hand. 2. It was as if he had actually lived here for many years. At this point, Anna's mother asks the boy, Do you know my name?
No.
And how do you know me?
You were the one that told Anna there wasn't a Santa Claus.
At this point Anna finally began to believe somewhat that he was the reincarnation of her husband Sean. The next day, Anna came to school to pick up the boy from school. She took the boy to the restaurant where she and her husband had first met. Anna asked the boy with great interest,
A man has to support his wife. He has to feed her, defend her, take care of her. Take care of me. How are you going to do that?
I'll get a job.
Listen, I appreciate that you like me so much, but you're imagining something that it isn't real. I mean, you're gonna eventually meet someone your own age and you'll forget about it.
but the boy just looked at Anna silently without saying anything. The relationship between the two gradually became more and more delicate. The fiancé had also noticed something unusual about Anna lately. That night, Jack had brought in a band too. Jack hired a band to play a rehearsal for his and Anna's wedding. As the band starts to play, a boy in the back row keeps kicking Jack's chair. Jack finally gets fed up and tells the boy to stop, but not long after he stops, the boy started kicking again. It was as if he was swearing in his sovereignty. This caused Jack, who had a long-standing grievance, to explode. He got up, dragged the boy into the room, and spanked him severely. Luckily, the crowd arrived just in time too. The boy is saved. All this is seen by Anna. She was disappointed with the man in front of her. Anna did not stay to calm Jack down. Instead, she went after the boy, who had run away. She broke Jack's heart with this act. Jack moved out that night. This is soon followed by the news that David, Sean's best friend, has been killed. David rushed to Anna's house to find out what was going on. As soon as he saw David, the boy rushed up and hugged him. It was as if the two hadn't seen each other for years. David, however, was very sensible. He saw the boy and was sure he wasn't Sean.
Yes, it is.
No. It's not.
Yes, it is.
On the other side, David's wife, Betty, arrives. Her hands were covered in fresh dirt, as if she had just dug something up. The boy, caught in Betty's direct gaze, the boy recoils in fear. Then she picked up a pen, wrote down her home address on the boy's hand. She told him to come and see her tomorrow. She also reminded him not to tell Anna. There seems to be a secret between the two of them. Early the next morning, boy went to Betty's house. To his surprise, the first thing Betty said was that you weren't Sean.
Yes, I am.
When you opened the door for me yesterday, I knew you weren't Sean. If you had been Sean, you would have come to me first.
The little boy froze in his tracks. He didn't understand what Betty meant by that, so she told him the secret she had been keeping for over 10 years. It turned out that Betty and Sean had been a couple in college, but Sean didn't want to get ahead, so he chose to marry Anna, who was from a privileged family, so Sean never liked Anna. In order to show Betty that he really meant it, Sean sent all the love letters Anna had written to him. He sent them all to Betty without reading them, but Sean never wanted to get a divorce. This led to Betty's growing resentment of Anna, so when she received Anna's invitation to get engaged, she planned to give her these love letters as a congratulatory gift. But Betty is not a mean-spirited woman. On the day of the engagement party, she gave up on this evil plan. She buries them all under a tree in the park, only to be caught by a young boy at play. Curiosity got the better of him. The boy secretly dug them up and reads all the love letters inside. Coincidentally, the little boy's name is also Sean, and had just turned 10 years old, coinciding with the time of Sean's death. Since then, the boy believes he is Sean's reincarnation, and has mixed feelings about Anna, whom he has never met. That's how the drama came to be. After hearing Betty's story, the boy was dumbfounded. He climbed up a large tree, and thought quietly about what had happened all this time. It wasn't until late at night that the police found the boy.
Why don't you tell us where you live? We'll take you home.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I have to go tell Anna I'm not her husband. I thought I was Sean, but I found out he is in love with another woman. So I can't be him, because I'm in love with Anna.
Okay.
The boy then ran back to Anna's house when the police weren't looking. By this time, Anna is convinced that the boy is the reincarnation of Sean. She even wants to take the boy and flee to another country to start a new life. She is willing to wait another 10 years for him, but the reality is harsh. The boy tells Anna that he is impersonating Sean, but he deliberately hid the truth about Sean and Betty. Anna is devastated when she learns the truth. At this point, she feels so stupid. How could she believe a child's words? In the end, she let go of her obsession. After the boy had left, Anna went to Jack to apologize. Jack accepted graciously. A month later, the two were married on the beach. The boy returned to school. A new life began.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss any updates.